you all deserve the credit for what you're doing at the school.
Absolutely.
You really do.
Absolutely. We truly are. I think that our strength is based on a mutual respect, the students, and I do think that one of the strengths with these workforce academies, as Mr. Small said, is our business partnerships. And I just want to say thank you, because it really truly takes the education that the students get in the classroom, and it truly brings it makes it a reality for the students. And we, as you know, Sun and Fun is one of our biggest partners. We're thrilled with that, and the students actually get to partake. Mm-hmm. They get to become involved with all of the activities of Sun and Fun, and that takes what we learn and part of our curriculum, not only in engineering, but avionics and aerospace, and it makes it a reality. And that's truly what we're about at the Central Florida Aerospace Academy of Kathleen High School. I can't say enough about it. It's absolutely thrilling.
You give me energy.
I do?
Okay, yes you do.
I didn't know
you
that.
give me energy.
Well, I tell you what, and I draw my energy from my students, so, and it's just awesome. This is a fantastic opportunity, and I know, I'm looking at my watch,
Yes,
Cheryl.
It's coming up, folks.
And can I tell you, students, and to the viewing audience and those that are listening, I've got butterflies in my stomach.
It's an amazing experience. All right, we're getting ready to go to the International Space Station, so stand by. Lori, thank you. We're standing by
welcome.
with the students. So
Cheryl, it's a pleasure to talk to you, and
Pleasure
thank
to
you
talk
for
to you,
being
too.
here today.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
We are ready.
Central Florida Aerospace Academy, this is Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Roger that. We have a voice check. This is Cheryl Hardy with the FAA Production Studios.
Station, this is the Central Florida Aerospace Academy. How do you hear me?
We have you loud and clear. Welcome aboard the International Space Station.
Welcome to the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, Commander.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be talking with you guys today.
We'd like to go ahead and start with the questions if you are ready.
We are ready.
Okay. I'd like to call Connor Osley. Please come on up.
Hello, Commander Kelly. This is Connor Osley, future pilot.
How are you, Connor?
Pretty good. At what age did you become interested and involved in aerospace, and what was your primary inspiration?
You know, when I was a little kid, I was certainly interested in being an astronaut, but kind of like a lot of kids are, it's you know, a lofty dream, which I think is very important to have, and it was one of many things I was interested in, like many kids. Really wasn't until I got to high school and you know, in college that I decided I wanted to be a military pilot, and you know, my inspiration was, you know, generally came from reading books about aviation, and I was really interested in flying airplanes off of aircraft carriers, so I'd say that was my inspiration, flying planes off of ships.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, the next person, Dr. Coleman, this will be your question. I'd like to introduce Chad Ricketson.
Hello, I'm Chad Ricketson. I'm in the 12th grade, and I'm a second lieutenant in the Air Force JROTC program. This question is for Dr. Coleman. Doctor, what is the future of the ISS program now that the Space Shuttle is retiring?
Well, I'm proud to be talking to a fellow Air Force person. Good luck with your career there. I think the future of the ISS is very bright. It is a vital step in our future exploration. Right now, we're doing experiments actually every day on understanding what it's like for people and the human body as we spend time up in space here. There's changes that take place. We're looking at different materials for making spaceships out of, looking for different ways that fluids behave so that we understand how to fuel ships. Lots of different things that we can use the space station as a laboratory to understand how to get further out into the universe.
Thank you.
Nespoli, the next question will be for you. May I call Joe Anderson, please?
Hello, Major Nespoli. My name is Joe Anderson, and my question for you is, how do you think commercialization will affect future space exploration, including countries involved with it?
Joe, thank you for the question there. Well, I think there is no way out. We are going to go into commercialization in the future, and this will be, I think, a good thing for us because the more companies, the more industries are involved with it, the more things will get better. We'll be able to exploit, use space in a better way, and the cost will be reduced. On top of that, people that are not professional will be able to go in space. I'm looking forward to the possibility that everybody can go in space. Think about a hotel, being able to go in vacation around the Earth and see this beautiful planet. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Commander Kelly, the next question is for you by Dustin Johnson. Dustin, please speak up just so they can hear, please.
Hello, I'm Dustin Johnson, and I'm in the 10th grade. This question is for you, Commander. Do you find it difficult to eat in space, and how different is the food from here on Earth?
Well, it's not too difficult to eat, although sometimes if you're not careful, the food gets away from you a little bit, and you might wind up finding it somewhere a couple of days later, which isn't too much fun. But the way it differs the most is that it's not fresh food, and it's mostly camping style food that you rehydrate or add water to, or food in pouches and cans. So the biggest way it differs is it's not fresh, and that's something that you really miss when you're up here.
Very much.
The next question, Ashley Suter. Speak up,
Good morning.
please.
My name is Ashley Suter, and this is my question. What is your best piece of advice for someone who would like to be an aerospace engineer and have a career with NASA?
Well, I recommend that you don't narrow your options too soon. I think to be a good aerospace engineer means that you need a good basic education in math, engineering, the sciences, all those things, and they all have a lot in common. And so as you go along, I would just collect as many tools as you can, as many skills, as many experiences. I'd talk to everybody you meet who is in the aerospace industry and ask them any question that you have, and then use their knowledge to help you understand, what role that you'd like to play in that industry or at NASA. It's a place where we need people that like to learn new things and that make sure that they're ready to learn new things.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. The next question is for Major Nespoli. Daniel Roberts. Daniel, just be sure to speak up. Okay.
Hi, my name is Daniel Roberts. My question is for Major Nespoli. What is the most spectacular thing you have ever seen while looking down on Earth?
Hey, Daniel, It's actually very difficult to answer to this question. I flew already once on the shuttle, and when I came back, I would say the most beautiful thing I've seen is the sun going down, sunset or sunrises, because I'd see the sun going down in this little sliver of atmosphere with all these colors, absolutely beautiful. But then I came up here a month ago in this long-duration mission, and I have the chance to look outside the cupola, which we did not have on the shuttle, and look down a little bit more, and I'm getting used to recognize things, and it's very beautiful to see the cities at night. They lit up like a Christmas tree. I mean, it's just astonishing. And then just this morning, I was looking down. We were flying over Africa, and I started seeing volcanoes and other things. So it's very. I mean, I would say the Earth is astonishing, and every day I'm discovering something new, and it's just a great view up here.
Thank you. The next question again is for you, Commander Alejandro. Sure to speak up, Ali.
Good morning, Commander. My name is Alejandro Barmoda. I'm an aspiring aeronautical engineer and C-17 pilot for the United States Air Force. My question for you is, what makes training for a long-duration mission different from a short-duration mission?
That's a good question, because they are significantly different. The short duration mission on a space shuttle, or in the future maybe another vehicle we might build, because you're not training for a period of time on the International Space Station, is normally, or in the case of the shuttle, is centrally located for the most part in Houston. Whereas if you're training for a space station mission, it involves training in all different parts of the world, Canada, Germany, Japan, and and Russia, as well as the United States. Also, on a shorter mission, you can train for basically every minute of the mission. You can be prepared to do that task and practice it multiple times, where that would be impossible for a long duration flight. So our training is somewhat more generic, whereas the shorter mission is more specific.
Thank you, Commander.
The next question will be for Dr. Coleman. Eric?
Good morning, Doctor. My name is Eric Mosier, and I would like to ask you, what role will the ISS play in future exploration, including visiting other planets?
There's a lot that we need to learn before we go and take long journeys. We know a little bit about life in low Earth orbit, but for spending 6 months on the way to Mars, understanding the effects of radiation, the effects of the journey on a human person, we need to know a lot more about that before we start sending people. And so the ISS is a really good place to study that. One of the things that we look at quite a bit is actually osteoporosis, or the weakening of your bones, dissolving of your bones up here. And we use exercise or measure to help that, and also looking at some different drugs to help that as well. So these are some of the kinds of answers we need before we venture further. And also a lot of things about spacecraft design, materials design. We have a lot of materials hanging literally outside our space station, and our space station itself is a giant experiment, seeing how it does in space so that we understand how to build future vehicles.
Thank you very much.
The next question is for Major Nespoli. Savannah Edfors.
Hello, my name is Savannah Edfors. I'm in 9th grade, and my question is, given that the crew is international and comes from vast cultural backgrounds, what is the common language spoken, and how do you cooperate to fulfill duties while on the ISS?
Savannah, we usually speak English, or at least I try, and everybody tries here. But we usually speak English. Of course, part of the station is under the control center of in Moscow, Russia, and part of the crew members are Russians. So when there are dedicated talks about that part, they actually speak in Russian. Also, we fly up here with the Soyuz spacecraft, which is a Russian spacecraft. And when we are in that spacecraft, the primary language is actually Russian. So all the documentation is in Russian. We talk to mission control in Moscow in Russian. So we need to actually learn Russian at a certain level before you can fly up here.
Thank you.
The next question is for Commander Kelly. Michelle Ray.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Ray, and this is for you, Commander. How do you exercise to stay fit in space?
Yeah, that's a good question. Exercise is really important up here because of the microgravity environment. If we don't exercise, we'll lose bone and muscle mass and have other, effects like you do on Earth from not exercising, actually. But we don't get a whole lot of exercise just in our normal moving around. So exercise is very important. And we have, on the U.S. segment, 3 primary ways. We have a treadmill, and we're held down with bungee cords to the treadmill so we can walk or run. And then we have a weightlifting machine, and, nothing really has weight in microgravity, so it's really called a resistive exercise device, and it's mimics weights by air pressure in cylinders, and it works very, very well. It actually feels like you're lifting real weight. And then we have a stationary bicycle, and so we use the treadmill and the stationary bicycle for aerobic exercise, and the resistive exercise device for weightlifting, and we do both of those types of exercise at least once a day on most days. And on the Russian segment, they have a treadmill, and they also have a stationary bicycle kind of device that they can ride as a bike, but also use for their arms. And it's also very effective to counter the effects of living in microgravity.
Thank you.
Okay, the next question is for Dr. Coleman. Patrick McMillan.
Hello, Dr. Coleman. I am Patrick McMillan. With the completion of the shuttle program nearing, how will the ISS be maintained and supplied?
We have a series of supply ships. Some of them have been coming for years, the Russian Progress supply ships, and those continue to come and resupply the station from all the countries that participate in the station program. And we also have a Japanese supply ship that arrives later on this month. And when it arrives, it actually hovers outside the station, and then Paolo and I, with the robotic arm, will reach out and capture that supply ship and then berth it to the station, whereas the Progress, the Russian vehicle, actually comes and docks to the station. And then we have one more, which is the European supply ship, the automated transfer vehicle, and that one comes in February. And that actually docks to the aft end of the space station. Plus, we have the space shuttle still. So a lot of different ways to get stuff up here.
Thank you very much.
The next question is for Major Nespoli. Philip Harrington.
Hello, Major. This is Master Sergeant Harrington. With Robonaut 2 set to launch to the ISS, do you feel this advanced technology will ever take a person's place in space? And will it enhance our chances to send humans further out into the universe?
Well, I wish they would be able to build a robot that would be able to be like a human, so I'll send him to work and I go on vacation. So that would be nice, I think, for everybody. You probably send somebody a robot in school and you go also somewhere else. Anyhow, I think in the future we will get there, where robots will get more and more capable of doing complex things, and for sure we would really like to have robots up here that will do simple, tedious things that we need to do every day, and And we do, but sometimes we make mistakes because we don't pay attention, or they're just too repetitive and too boring. So it will happen. I think it will happen, and it will really help us, as it will help us on our daily life if we will be able to have help and support in our daily tasks and chores. Of course, it would be bad if we would build a robot and set the robot in vacation and we would stay at work, but we will work on that. We will work on that.
Thank you, Major.
Unfortunately, due to time, this will be the last question. Commander, this one is for you, from Andrew Nelson.
Hello, my name is Andrew. What is the largest scale experiment your team is performing while on the ISS?
That's a good question. You know, we have over 130 different science experiments being conducted on board the space station during the time I'm here. But I think the biggest experiment is just the space station itself. Having a facility that's operating in low Earth orbit for 10 years now and another 10 years to come, manned by humans, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year is a experiment. You know, this space station has life support systems that need to be operated for a really long time, electrical power systems, cooling systems, and not to mention the human system, which all of those combined is very, very important if we are ever going to venture away from this planet. So I think, and it's often overlooked, that, you know, the biggest experiment is just this whole facility and the, you know, the space station program itself.
Thank you, Commander.
Commander Kelly, Dr. Coleman, and Major Nespoli, on behalf of the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, as well as all of the Polk County schools, we want to say thank you to you. Thank you for your time. Is there any last words that you would like to say to the students of Polk County?
Yeah, well, I'd like to encourage you guys to, you know, work hard on your education, because that's really what is going to pay dividends for your future. And you never want to limit yourself. And the better you do in school, the more options you're going to have as you get along later in life. And those options are going to be very important to you someday. So, you know, keep up the hard work. And it's great talking to you guys today.
Commander Kelly, thank you very much to you and your crew, and also we would just want to say thank you for making our dream a reality. We sure appreciate you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Station, this is Houston ACR. Thank you. That concludes the event.
Thank you, Central Florida Aerospace Academy. Station, we are now resuming operational communication.
Thank you to all of the Central Florida Aerospace Academy.
Thank you.
Thank you to Polk County Schools. On behalf of the FAA Production Studios and the National Aviation Safety Foundation, on behalf of the FAST team, we are very, very happy to have been able to be a partner with you in this program.
Thank you. We couldn't have done it without you, and thank you so much to your team of people, and a special thank you to Obi Young, who absolutely was the wizard and the mastermind that helped put this together from the technical perspective, which I know nothing about. And so thank you to Obi, and a big round of applause to Obi and his team. Thank you.
All right. So let's wrap it up today. We definitely had a great show. We're looking forward to possibly being partners in the future if you have any more programs coming up and some of the plans that you have in the future.
Absolutely. We're very, very excited.
And congratulations on the new school.
And thank you. We appreciate you. And thank you to the students that participated. We sure appreciate you. And all the partners.